So I wanted to bring you Rabbi Mimran's picture again, so that you have an idea of the face of the man. Now, he's available on the internet, and you can find him. He has a lot of different kinds of shiurim, but not as many as we have here at the Tikvan Elevator Kollel. But, I mean, he's a man that's flying around the world in all kinds of different projects. So I just want you to see probably a lot more gray now, maybe a little bit white. I'm not sure. But this is a picture of Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. Now, this is what he writes over here. He writes about, this is part 11, the future world to come, the world to come. And we're taking this from the Reishis Chachma, a famous book. So he writes like this. The rabbis elaborated on the parable of the rope. Beautiful idea regarding mitzvahs. Now, those of you who are not Jewish who may be listening to this, we have a concept of doing things. Torah and mitzvahs. We learn the Torah and we learn to it in order to teach us what to do in order to perfect the world and perfect our lives. As stated there, a man had fallen into the sea, and the sailor on board threw him a rope. He said to him, "Hold this rope in your hand and don't let go of it, for if you let go, you forfeit your life." Similarly, the soul is linked from the higher realm to the lower, as was one end of the rope attached to the boat, the other end was attached to the person in the water. All of the essence of love and attachment is for man to attach himself to this rope and to tie himself through it to the root of his soul, which is attached to Hashem. He writes, remember the state of experience that we are speaking about is not what you think it is. You cannot think about making a soul connect or attaching yourself to God. This is something the mind can't understand. It's a heightened state of being that must be felt without any mental labels attached to it. Let's experiment, he says. Close your eyes and say to yourself, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. Then become very alert and wait for the next thought. Be like a soldier at war waiting for his enemy's next move. What thought is going to come out next? Try it now. So I'm going to go on, and it says, as long as you are in a state of heightened awareness, you are free of thought. Now, this is a very important idea that he keeps going over and over again, because he wants to say that the common thoughts that we have going through our head all the time are not awareness thoughts. You are still yet highly alert. The instant your conscious attention sinks below a certain level, thought rushes in. The mental noise returns. The stillness is lost. You are back at the mercy of your thoughts. To stay focused in everyday life, it helps to be deeply rooted within yourself. Otherwise, the mind, which has incredible momentum, will drag you along like a wild river. This means to inhabit your body fully, to always have some of your attention directed towards the inner energy of your body, to focus on your body all the time, to feel the body from within, so to speak. Body awareness keeps you in touch with that greater part of you, your holy soul. Now, I think I read this wrong, so I'm going to read it again. To stay focused in everyday life, it helps to be deeply rooted within yourself. Otherwise, the mind, which has incredible momentum, will drag you along like a wild river. This means to inhabit your body fully, to always have some of your attention directed towards the inner energy of your body. In other words, to look at your body and look at the inside of everything that's moving. Your heart is pumping. You didn't ask it to do that. Your whole digestive system is working, and you can make your arms and bodies and everything else work because you have bones, and inside the bones is some kind of energy. To feel the body from within, so to speak. Body awareness keeps you in touch with that greater part of you, which is your holy soul. As you realize, you can see this, I think, in Parshas Pinchas in the Zohar. It talks a great deal about the organs in the body. In a sense, the state of awareness could be compared to waiting. This is not the usual bored or restless kind of waiting that is the denial of the present that we spoke about already. It's not a waiting in which your attention is focused on some point in the future and the present is perceived as an undesirable obstacle that prevents you from having what you want as a good time for your physicality. There is a qualitatively different kind of waiting, one that requires your total alertness. Now, this is a technique which I think that I could like to try. He says that when I go to pray, or in any time, I should just sit and wait to look at the next thought that comes into my mind. Now, he's said this many times in many different ways. You can learn to look at your thoughts. So, I'm working on it. I wouldn't say that I'm great at it. Something could happen at any moment, and if you are not absolutely awake, absolutely still, you'll miss it. In that state, all of your attention is totally harmonious with your present situation. There is none left for daydreaming, thinking, remembering, anticipating. There's no tension in it, no fear, just alert presence. You are watching. You are present with your whole self, with every cell of your body. In that state, that is the you, that has a past and a future, the personality of you, is hardly, if you like, is hardly there anymore. No worries, since nothing of value is really lost. You are still essentially yourself. In fact, you are more fully yourself than you ever were before. Or rather, it is only now that you are truly complete by being attached to your higher self. Let's look at this again because I think that I missed a shot in it and I'd like to learn it. So let's see. She says, there is none left for daydreaming because you are watching. Thinking, remembering, anticipating, these are all the defensive things that we do all day long. There's no tension in this fact, no fear, just alert presence. You're watching. You are present with your whole self, with every cell of your body. In that state, the you that has a past and a future, the personality, if you like, is hardly there anymore. No worry, since nothing of value is really lost. You are still essentially yourself. In fact, you are more fully yourself than you ever were before, or rather, it is only now that you are truly complete by being attached to your higher self. Now, he's talking about looking at your thoughts. Attaching yourself to God, right, is something the mind can't understand because God, the mind, is always working on things which are finite, whereas God is infinite. It's a heightened state of being that must be felt without any mental labels attached to it. This is Baruch Fleischman. This is the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. These are the words of the holy Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran, and he's trying to teach us how to reach and let the higher elements of our souls shine.